We're live from Radio Row in New Orleans. The big game is on Sunday. It's our final Jake Asman Football Show of the 2024 NFL season. He's Cole Thompson. My name is Jake Asman. We break down Chiefs, Eagles right now.
Oh, yeah. It's time for the Jake Asman Football Show. Brought to you by BetUS. Expert betting odds and fantasy stats. So let's get into some NFL football. Brought to you by our friends at BetUS. So get your questions ready. Here's your host, Jake Asman.
Here we go, baby. Live from Radio Row in New Orleans, the site of Super Bowl 59 on Sunday. You have the Eagles and the Chiefs. Cole, one last Football Friday, but for you every Friday, a Hawaiian shirt Friday, even at Radio Row.
You think I was going to miss the bit to go to New Orleans and not wear the Hawaiian shirt? People got to know. They got to know that it's actually a thing that goes on down here, buddy. I'm sad. This is the last one we're doing for a while.
This is the last one, and we're going to talk about the game. We're going to give out some picks, of course, as we always do. We'll talk some prop bets as well. If you want to wager on anything you hear us discussing, BetUS is our official sponsor. And guess what? They're offering a 150% sign-up bonus with your first deposit. So now's the time to get your picks in for the big game coming up on Sunday. BetUS is our go-to. They're offering a 125% bonus with your second and third deposits as well. Cole, we've been here all week. The buzz starting to pick up here in New Orleans. Eagles fans, Chiefs fans getting ready for Sunday. And I feel like it's going to be a tight game. I feel like when I look at this matchup, I see two really, really good teams. I think the Eagles roster overall is better, but I think the Chiefs have the edge at quarterback and coaching, and we'll see how it plays out on Sunday. I'm leaning Chiefs before I make my official pick, but your thoughts on this matchup, what immediately stands out to you after being here all week?
Well, to me, it's the best team versus the best player. That's what it is. It's literally Patrick Mahomes versus one of the best defenses in the NFL, headlined by one of the best defensive coordinators in Vic Fangio, with players that have grown from week 1 to week 18 to where they're all playing cohesive. They're fully healthy, which is a good thing. I think the offensive line of Kansas City is good. I think the line of Philadelphia is great. I think the running back room of Kansas City is good. I think the running back room of Philadelphia is great. Wide receivers, good. Philadelphia wide receivers, great. So it's a better roster. It's, I think, a very solid game plan. It's not like you have terrible coaches. Kellen Moore is going to get the job on Monday morning. He's not even going to go back to Philly. He's going to stay down here. Vic Fangio is one of the greatest defensive minds, just like C. Spagnuolo. But you're going up against the quarterback that finds a way to get it done in the second half of every single Super Bowl. The only one that he didn't do it against was the GOAT. And that's the guy that he's chasing and the dude who eventually he is going to probably surpass. So the question is, can Philadelphia get out to a hot start? Can the defense do enough in the third quarter to limit the big-time explosive plays for Patrick Mahomes? And if they do that, I think Philadelphia has a shot. I lean Philadelphia right now. I'm not giving out my pick, but I lean Philly right now because of the roster. But again, it's Mahomes. It's the big game. It's the fourth quarter. He knows how to get the last play in. And every single time it happens that way.
I almost feel like if Philly's going to win, they'll win in like blowout fashion. Barkley will have a monster game. They'll keep Mahomes on the sideline by doing so. Because if you remember, the one Super Bowl Kansas City lost during this dynastic run they've been on was the game against Tampa, where they got blown out. Every other Super Bowl Kansas City has played in, including this game against the Eagles 2 years ago, has been really close. The game 2 years ago was one of the better Super Bowls we've had. It was 38-35. The rematch is, of course, on Sunday, but I hope we get a game as good as what we saw a couple of years ago. Game-winning field goal with just 8 seconds left. It was the third highest-scoring Super Bowl of all time. So I almost feel like if the Eagles are going to win, they got to really take it to the Chiefs, because if this game is tight in the fourth quarter with Mahomes on the other side, you're going to favor the Chiefs to get it done because they've gotten it done every time all year in that spot.
Well, let me ask you, do you remember that 2020 Super Bowl against Tom Brady? What was the difference in that game?
Well, Mahomes was running for his life.
Yeah, offensive line. What did they do right afterwards? Drafted Trey Smith, drafted Creed Humphrey, went out, spent money on Joe Tooney. They went and got better at left tackle. They have a good offensive line. So it's going to have to be a blowout by Philadelphia. You're going to have to see guys like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Cooper DeJean, Blankenship. Everyone have to step on up at the secondary, create turnovers. Then the offense has got to hit. And honestly, as much as you want to talk about Saquon Barkley, feed the rock to Saquon Barkley. He deserves it. And in my opinion, there's probably nobody here who deserves to have a Super Bowl title than Saquon Barkley. But you got to trust that this is going to be the Jalen Hurts game. I'm sorry, like, it has to be the Jalen Hurts game. He played extremely well in that first Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes. He played extremely well, in my opinion, against Washington. You got to continue that momentum. Because of the second that you just have to go trust 26 to tote the rock 25, 30 times a game, you're going to lose. And what's going to happen is he's going to be tired in the fourth quarter. You're going to play your cards offensively. You're going to get the ball back to Patrick Mahomes. And he's going to find his way into the end zone. And they're going to win the football game. And it could happen on a game-winning field goal by Harrison Butker. It could happen with a 45-second left touchdown. But it's going to lean in favor of Kansas City. I agree with you that if Philadelphia is going to win this game, they're going to have to win explosively. And they're going to have to, I think, start out fast. They're going to have to jump up like 10-0 after the first quarter and have a pretty big turnover, I would say, on the first two drives against Kansas City.
Some notes on this game. The Chiefs and Eagles are meeting in the Super Bowl for the second time in 3 seasons. The only other pair of teams to meet twice in a 3-season span were the Cowboys and Bills when they faced each other in consecutive seasons in 1992 and 93. Cowboys obviously won both. In each of the previous 4 shortest spans between Super Bowl rematches, the team that won the first meeting won the rematch. So Philly trying to break that historic trend. The Eagles are the 6th team, or they would be the 6th team to lose 2 straight Super Bowls to the same opponent. Bengals lost to the Niners in 81 and 88. Bills lost to the Cowboys in 92, 93. And obviously the Patriots lost to the Giants in 07 and 2011. Plus you had the Rams losing to the Patriots in 01 and 2018. Yeah. Niners who lost to the Chiefs 19, and of course last year in 2023. I mean, you talk about what this win would mean for the Chiefs, the three-peat. You can make a case to the greatest dynasty, not just in NFL history, but in the history of sports, because no one's ever done it 3 straight years in the Super Bowl era. And today's NFL with injuries, today's NFL with how difficult it is to keep teams together because of the salary cap, it would be one of the greatest accomplishments in the history of sports. And that's what's truly on the line on Sunday for Kansas City.
Counter argument. Think about this for Philadelphia. Go back to like week 5 when Nick Sirianni was getting booed at, screaming at fans.
They were 2-2. Oh, get rid of Sirianni.
And everyone wanted him fired. And it's like, dude, the guy has won you multiple playoff games. He's going to go down at this point as one of, if not the greatest coach in Eagles history with a win. It was worth every single penny to pay for that running back in Saquon Barkley. It was worth every single penny to extend Jalen Hurts. It was worth every single penny to go trade up to go get Cooper DeJean. Every single move made by this organization is so smart. And we go back to that week 4 moment when everyone was screaming, Sirianni's a bum. He's an idiot. He has no idea what he's doing. And they end up winning the whole damn thing in a race to where they looked like the dominant team. Go back and look at that game against Green Bay. Dominated fashion in the fourth quarter. Look at that game against Los Angeles. Dominated fashion, left no doubt in the fourth quarter. Look at the game against Washington. Dominant fashion. And I think that sometimes we focus so much in on the quarterback. We think it's so much in on history. And I'm not saying it wouldn't be great for Kansas City, but the fact is that Philadelphia this year, when they have played to their pristine, have looked like the best team in the NFL. And there's no doubt, if they win this game, it was clear as day that despite Detroit and how they got to 15-2, Minnesota, great story. Congratulations to Sam Darnold getting paid $1. Philadelphia is the best team in the NFL. And I honestly think that if they are able to win this game and they win in dominant fashion and they win convincingly, there is no questions asked that this has been one of the more better off seasons for Howie Roseman, who's been building this for like 4 years now.
If you're watching this live, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It's the final 2024 season edition of the Jake Asman Football Show. Cole Thompson joins us every Friday during the season. He's down here in New Orleans helping out my New York Jets Jake Asman streams. And, of course, we're going to mix in some Jake Asman Football Show content presented by BetUS. Who you like in the game Sunday? If you're watching live right now or after the fact, make sure you comment who you believe is going to win the game between the Chiefs and the Eagles. Look, when you look at it from a Philly perspective, I do wonder if the pressure that Kansas City is feeling to get it done and get this three-peat done, if that impacts in the way I believe it once upon a time impacted the 2007 Patriots chasing history, the undefeated season, the best team of all time. I think they were affected by the pressure. The Giants also played great that day, but the best offense we've ever seen was held to just 14 points on that day. I wonder if the pressure could be a factor that Kansas City's going to think about it. There's pressure on Philly, too. They're in the Super Bowl, but I just think the moment, the historic significance, I wonder how that plays into how Kansas City goes out there and if that impacts them at all.
I don't disagree with you. Here's what I'm going to say. What's going to be really interesting on the Philadelphia pressure side, there's always that speculation, and it happens in college football, it happens in the NFL, it happens in baseball. He can't win the big one. And that's what Nick Sirianni is going to deal with afterwards. Because if he was coaching for a championship, he was coaching for a win back 3 years ago, couldn't get the job done. The big play against James Bradbury. Now he ends up having the same situation. Let's say they're up by 7 with 4 minutes left, and Patrick Mahomes starts to drive, and he ends up getting a big third down call. Well, now people are going to say, oh, well, Nick Sirianni can't win the big one. So there's pressure on both sides, but I do agree with you on one thing. We talk about how in 2007, that was such a good performance by New York's defense. New York's offense also was able to keep the clock running. The time possession in that game really was the difference, I think, for New York that was able to capitalize. And then, of course, you had the big David Tyree catch. So it's like anything is possible in this game. What I think is going to be really interesting is how do you watch as the Vic Fangio defense tries to counteract an Andy Reid offense in the fourth quarter, up by, say, 7, with an opportunity to close it out right then and there and get the 2-minute warning.
It's going to be fun. Now, before we make our official picks, Cole, how about we go through some of the prop bets for this matchup?
By the way,
on Sunday.
What's the record right now? Because we're pushing it. We're so close.
Yeah,
and this is going to decide who wins.
You're putting me on the spot, and I don't have it open, and I don't appreciate you hosting my show. How dare you?
I'm sorry.
Let's see. And that's why I said before we get to the official picks, I am 32, 25-1. Cole, you are 33. Actually, I didn't update the win I had in the championship game.
Yeah.
We each went 1-1.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter. 32, 25. So let's see. This is why I said wait, Cole, before we do this.
I know I'm an idiot.
Dumbass.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Anyway, all right, hold on one second. You are 34-26. I am 33, 26-1. So this game on Sunday, we're on the opposite ends. It will decide it. We will get to that. But first, let's make some prop bets because that's what the Super Bowl is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, some bets that are a lot of fun. Super Bowl to go to overtime. We start there. Only 2 Super Bowls have needed overtime in NFL history. Will this game go to overtime? Yes or no, Cole Thompson?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Ladies and gentlemen, more prop bets. Any player to record 205 rushing yards. So if you think Saquon Barkley's going to have a historic game, that's plus 1,100. Would you take a flyer on that?
If Chris Jones wasn't playing on this defense, yes, but he is, so no.
Jalen Hurts, most rushing yards is plus 1,500. Yay or nay?
No. It's still Saquon.
Position of the Super Bowl MVP winner. Tight end is plus 1,600 if you think Kelsey's going to have one of those games. Wide receiver is plus 1,600. Either one of those intrigue you?
Yes, wide receiver does. I think that A.J. Brown is going to be a difference in this game.
Okay.
I really do.
Any quarterback to record a reception, plus 2,000. That's an interesting one. A little trick play, a little trickery.
I think Kellen Moore's going to do it. I honestly think Dallas Goedert's going to throw him a football. Jalen Hurts going to make a catch. I would take that bet.
Touchdown and field goal scored in every quarter, plus 2,000.
No. There's going to be one where it's a lull.
I'll give you a bet I always like. I don't have it up in front of me, but I just thought of this. First half under. The nerves of the Super Bowl could see some low scoring in the game.
I always like the first quarter line. I always think that one's just it is a lull of a first quarter, and then the second quarter is where you start to get a little explosive. I agree with you, the under, but I always play the first quarter line.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in. It is the Jake Asman Football Show live from Radio Row here in New Orleans, presented, of course, by our friends at BetUS. Ladies and gentlemen, some fun ones. Cole, heads or tails?
Tails. Never fails.
Everyone bet heads. Color of the winning Gatorade dumped on the head coach.
Okay, so if I think...
Color of the Gatorade dumped on the winning head coach.
So if Kansas City wins, I think it's going to be red. I think if Philadelphia wins, it's going to be purple. For some reason. I've always taken purple in the Super Bowl for some reason. I like purple.
Over under on the national anthem. Who's doing the national anthem, by the way?
I am John Baptiste, I think, is the guy.
You going over or under?
What's the line at?
Let's see. Super Bowl, the national anthem. I thought I had all these in my document here, but tech issues, so we're producing on the fly.
I say, so that's me. Is that on me in this one?
No, that's not on you. You're right. John Baptiste.
Yeah, John Baptiste. I'm trying to think. If the overs, I think that it's usually 2 minutes or 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm actually going to take the under with him. I think because if he's not he's not the main singer, he's known for his piano playing, it's going to be under 220.
Under 220. There you have it, folks. All right. It's time, Cole.
Yeah, it is.
One last pick. Eagles, Chiefs, the most up-to-date line as we sit here and record this show on Friday morning, 2 days before Super Bowl 59 on Sunday, is Kansas City -1.
So it's a pick 'em, basically.
Pretty much. My official pick, Give me the Chiefs. The three-peat's happening. 31-28. I think it's a close game. Close game. Give me the better coach, better quarterback. It's what the Chiefs do. Kansas City, 31-28. They win. They cover. They are Super Bowl champions for the third year in a row.
MVP.
MVP.
Lock it in.
Cliche. Cookie cutter. Patrick Mahomes.
Does Travis Kelce propose to Taylor Swift?
No, but he does score a touchdown.
Fair enough. I finally get to do this actually in person. I'm so excited. Head to head. Let's go. I'm absolutely locking in. Sound the alarm, Jake Asman.
Sound the alarm.
Sound the alarm, Jake Asman. You brought it up. I 100% agree. The pressure of playing for a third consecutive Super Bowl title, I think, is going to get the better of Kansas City. I think you're going to see Patrick Mahomes make a major mistake at the start of the fourth quarter. It's going to be a pick six. I'm taking Reed Blankenship, taking it back. They capitalize. Jalen Hurts gets the ball back, and Saquon Barkley runs it in. 40-plus yard touchdown. They give up a late touchdown to go ahead and at least make this interesting. Don't get the onside kick. Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts, Howie Roseman, Nick Sirianni, who deserves Philadelphia. Philadelphia doesn't deserve them. Wins the Super Bowl. A.J. Brown, Super Bowl MVP, 120 receiving yards, 2 touchdown receptions.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Kent says it looked like Cole was going in for a kiss there. That is true. We don't want that.
God bless.
You're not
God
wrong.
bless Rick Kent.
Cole, we've done this all year long. We got one game left. It's been a lot of fun having you a part of the Jake Asman Football Show every week. And look, we'll find out who wins Sunday because there's a dinner on the line. We've had a very good year, each of us picking games. If you followed us on the show, we made you some money, and that's what it's all about. Want to thank BetUS for being our sponsor all season long. If you're going to bet on the game Sunday, do it with our friends over at BetUS. They're offering a 150% sign-up bonus with your first deposit. They have every prop bet you could imagine. They have parlay opportunities, over, under opportunities, every point spread, alternate lines for the game. You name it, BetUS is providing it for the game on Sunday. Cole, a lot of fun, man. Glad we got to wrap this alliteration of the show. Is that a word? This,
alliteration?
Yeah.
It's not like impromptu the way that you said a couple days ago.
I don't know. But
alliteration, it works. It does. It doesn't, but it's a word.
This version of the Jake Asman Football Show, I'm glad we got to wrap it up.
It's been a fun time, buddy.
It's been great. Thanks to everyone who watched. Enjoy the game on Sunday. And keep checking back here on the YouTube channel for more content live from Radio Row. He's Cole. I'm Jake. Enjoy the game Sunday. And we'll talk to you next time on the Jake Asman Football Show.